Welcome back everyone. Today's battle is between Riona and Takako. Let's take a look at the matchup. Riona's team brings both sand and snow with her Powder and Obama Snow, but neither weather really benefits her lineup. It's a very bulky team overall, built around Goldengo for hazard control, I think. Though speed is definitely a weak point here, and if she falls behind in momentum, it will be very tough to come back in this match for her. Takako meanwhile has her signature prankster Meowstic, likely running dual screens, Thunder Wave and Trick to support her otherwise very offensive core. I'm curious about Indeedee here. It could bring terrain support or even Healing Wish to help her sweepers. Diancie doesn't really match up well into Riona's team, but Articuno and Slitherwing both apply serious offensive pressure, and Kyurem in the back looks like a strong late game cleaner once the bulky cores are gone. I think this match is going to come down to whether Riona can withstand Takako's offensive pressure and keep her defensive backbone intact, or if Takako can find an opening and let one of her sweepers take over. Let's jump into the battle. Riona leads with Conkeldurr and Takako leads with her Meowstic, so it's very obvious what Meowstic's gonna do here. It tries to use Thunder Wave. Goldengo can't be hit by status since it has the ability Good as Gold. Takako switches out into Slitherwing. Goldengo has its own Thunder Wave, uses it and hits Slitherwing here. Paralyzed Slitherwing isn't very good. Riona also has Hex that does double damage if the opposing Pokemon is statused. Rabbits actually doesn't do as much damage as I thought against Goldengo, and the two mods are pretty on par right now. Riona switches out into Galarian Slowking, which takes almost as much as Goldengo. Flamethrower is enough to kill Slitherwing, and that's one mon down on Takako's side. Takako goes back into Meowstic, which is a rather safe play. I think Riona predicted the Thunder Wave here, switched into Quagsire to catch the Thunder Wave, and since Quagsire is a ground type, it can't be affected by Thunder Wave. Takako switches into Diancie, which gets Toxic from Quagsire. That was a good play from Riona. We see Statworks. Do we see another Statworks? No, we don't. We see Liquidation from Quagsire. That's interesting. So Quagsire actually does offensive work here. We see another Liquidation, which does okay damage. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say. Riona doesn't want to stay in this freeze dry. She does, and that's a dead Quagsire. Freeze Dry looks pretty good against Riona's team. Articuno uses Terrestrialization, turns into Terra Ground, and with that it has a super effective move against Galarian Slowking. Galarian Slowking uses Flamethrower, burns Articuno, but since Articuno is a special attacker, it doesn't really matter that much. A Bomber now comes out with the Snow. Terra Blast is resisted, doesn't do as much, and Articuno can maybe use a flying type move here. We see Hurricane. Takako hits the Hurricane in Snow and kills Obama Snow with it. Wow. Goldengo comes out, which is without a balloon is not a very good switch into Articuno. You see Terra Ground, Terra Blast does 67%. And Riona won't be able to recover against this Terra Blast here. I'm not quite sure what she's trying to do, because Takako has no reason not to go for Terra Blast, Terra Ground. predicted the switch and went for freeze dry, and it was a very good prediction from Takako. It gave her much momentum because with that her Powdon is down as well, and it's 3 months down on Riona's side now. That turned around very quickly. Mach Punch is not nearly enough to kill Articuno. Hurricane misses in Sandstorm because it isn't perfectly accurate. Can we see Roost, which is good, but Facade obviously does tons of damage with Conkeldurr being burned. And Takako has one chance to hit another Hurricane here. But Riona actually uses Mach Punch, kills Articuno, and with that they are closer to being even. Miaste comes out, clicks Reflect. Knockoff removes the Light Clay as expected. And Miaste can get up another Light Screen. Oh, Mach Punch doesn't do enough. I thought Riona went for Facade here. She didn't. That's Dual Screen Indeedy now. Knockoff does... Oh, it was Choice Spec. So Knockoff does 70%. This was a very offensive Indeedy if it had Choice Specs, which it doesn't have now. Riona tried to use Mach Punch, however she's unable to do so in the Psychic terrain that Indeedy summoned. Psychic does more damage, is super effective, and with that Conkeldurr's down. Slowking Galar comes out, Takako is faster, goes for Healing Wish actually, to heal Diancie back up. And Diancie clicks Rock Polish. Is Diancie ready to sweep now? That is the question. It should be with Earthquake or Diamond Storm. Takako goes for Diamond Storm. 41% is good damage. Slush Bomb does insane amounts and poisons. That's not very good for Takako. She gets the Diamond Storm boost. Is at +2 speed, +2 def now. Goldengo dies to rocks while switching in, and that is a win for Takako. That was a really fun match to watch, and honestly one of Takako's best matches so far. She played to her strengths with Meowstic setting up support and managed to get consistent value out of her offensive Pokemon. The standout though was definitely Articuno. The Tera ground coverage is very good on it, and it just tore through Riona's team while she really struggled to switch around it safely. Riona's composition had the right tools, but it's very slow, and the lack of defensive synergy really showed here. Having two different weather setters without a real abuser ended up working against her, as it didn't add any pressure and it just made it harder to keep momentum for her. Once Articuno broke past her defenses, there wasn't really anything she could do. Still, there was some bright spots. Riona made good reads early and tried to position Goldengo, which worked very well in the beginning, but Takako played on another level here with the Healing Wish reset and the late game Diancie cleanup. This was a big step for Takako. She played more confidently and the result really showed. I hope Riona will take this as a learning game and patch those defensive gaps in the redraft. Great match from both sides. With that, there's only one match left for week 6, and then it's off to the last week of the first round. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.